Get a quote at farmers.com. 6 Houston in the white, Florida State in the maroon. And
to learn a lot about this Florida State team in the first media, because we'll see how they come out and compete.
Houston enters it, low block to Tugler, gets all tangled up, and he draws a foul on Florida State's Alir Malouk, making just his 3rd career start tonight for the Seminoles.
First possession, get the ball down low to JoJo Tugler. That's an area of his game that he wasn't asked to do last year. Now he can be a threat down low one-on-one.
Sinnott from the foul line knocks it down.
That will be a shot that will be wide open if he can knock it down. When Florida State goes zone, a 3-2, the middle of the lane will be wide open.
The freshman gets the Cougars on the board first.
A perimeter player. He's not a down-low post player, but the key for Basong is, can he rebound tonight?
He's a 6'8" wing with a 7'3" NBA wingspan. Rising fire and Flemings, the 2 freshmen in the books for the Cougars.
He didn't have a good game last game against Notre Dame, so that's a really good sign for him to knock down his first attempt.
Malouk, Somerville. Malouk fumbles in traffic, has it blocked, and a late whistle and a foul called. It goes against Houston.
And this is something that Kelvin Sampson made note of to us in the shoot-around. Can they guard without fouling? Because that's one area, when you talk about the aggression of the Houston defense, they tend to foul a lot. And that's one area where they're trying to clean up, where they're trying to improve. Right there, JoJo Tugler with a foul in the first minute and 30 seconds of this ball game. Let's see if he can continue to play this half without picking up the second.
Tugler is the reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he's already fouled out 3 times on the young season.
And part of that is just he's so aggressive, and that's what you love about him. You love how hard he plays. You love what he brings to the table every single possession, but he has to be able to be more controlled while being aggressive.
An offensive rebound for the Seminoles. Dropping it off the table. Malouk can't finish, and Sinnott claims it for the Cougars. Sharp turning the corner, has it denied. Met him at the summit. Malouk with the rejection.
That right there is how you don't let one mistake lead to 2. Malouk missed the layup on one side, tries to clean it up. Maybe Jones got that, but cleans it up, protects the rim on the opposite side.
We'll count the 3. And JoJo Tugler, slow getting
true post player. He is more of a perimeter guy that floats. Will he be able to sustain the rebounding against this Houston team?
Cougars with possession after the sharp 3 and the foul. 8 on the timer. Tugler high-low, burrowing, throws it, and the righty hook is through.
He's gotten so much better.
Kingston, future lottery-level talent. From the corner, spraying a 3, around and out, and Tugler claims it. Houston's on a 10-0 run over the last minute. Wiggins, a rebuttal from the top, way right. And it'll stay on this end with the Seminoles.
Let's take a look at this transition bucket, because this is so high level by using. Almost loses the ball, but he always knows where his shooter is. And Emmanuel Sharp, once again, it's not good enough to just be there. You have to take that away, because if not, the quick trigger, he'll always be ready to knock it down.
Well, everybody will talk about your defense when you lead the Big 12 and are top 3 in the country in scoring defense 6 years in a row. But Houston's offense, they are 6 for 7 to start this game from the floor. Knocked away, loose ball, out of bounds, Houston possession.
And you know what's interesting, James, because one of the things that we talked about was Florida State trying to speed up this Houston team. Well, it looks like Houston right now is making Florida State play a little bit faster than they want to play. They are speeding them up, causing them to be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's what this Houston defense does to you.
Cougars have attempted 3 more shots than the Seminoles. Their goal is 10 more than their opponents each time they hit the floor. Using floater. Underneath, the big man, the transfer from Sam Houston, Sacco. He draws a foul on the interior.
And if you're Sacco right there, when you catch that ball high, you cannot bring it down. You almost allow the guards to be able to get a steal on it. You got bailed out, but look, he brings the ball down. You have to go straight back up with it. He gets bailed out and ends up at a free throw line. But as a big, when you catch high, you keep high and go finish.
Khalifa Sacco shoots 63% for the year from the stripe. Foul was against Martin Somerville. Houston's on a 12-1 extended run over the last 2.5 minutes, 10 straight for the Cougs. Sacco splits the pair.
I know it's early, but this is the time where McCray has to be aggressive. He has to get going early, or Florida State has no chance in this ball game.
There he is with the ball. Robert McCray, the 5th, averages 14 per night. Wiggins faces. Suffocating defense, 7 to shoot. Baseline up and under. Rebound kept alive. And McCray, drive and kick. Slicing through, and a whistle and a foul. They'll call a trip. It goes against Houston. It's on Sacco, his first personal and the second Houston team foul. Florida State's only attempted 5 field goals. They're 0 for 2 from 3. And a clock malfunction. There's a look at Kelvin Sampson. 800-plus career wins. They've been #1 seeds in the last 3 NCAA tournaments, and that is his son, Kellen Sampson, who coaches the bigs here at Houston for the Cougars. He's also the coach in waiting whenever Kelvin hangs it up. Nine to shoot. McCray spinning.
And that's a good sign. Typically, if McGee can get going, their offense is so much better, but he's been very inconsistent this season.
Florida State shoots 37 threes per game. They've already shattered single-game school records on the young.
Not from freshmen. Like, you would expect a guy like Flemings or Sinek to go through those type of spells, but your older guys typically no.
Florida State with a little full-court pressure. And quick hands force a deflection.
And I like these past 2 defensive possessions. Well, the reason why Houston called a timeout is because they blitzed the ball screen, made Uzan back all the way back, so we have to call a timeout because he got trapped. And right there, that press, sending a random trap, I like that. If you're Florida State, you need some answers. Get aggressive on the defensive side.
They average 11 steals per game. That's 5th most in the country, this Florida State defense. Offensive rebound. Sharp demanding a screen. Floats a 3. Long rebound. Seminoles can run. The freshman Mills draws a foul. That's Cam Miles, I should say. And he's an impressive freshman from IMG Academy out of Chicago.
And that right there is how Coach Loups wants to play. He wants to get stops and convert on the opposite side. Put your head down. He calls it pace and space. Get to the rim, and that's a good attack right there. One-on-one, Cam Miles getting to the free throw line.
He's 9 for 12 on the season from the stripe, 75%. Florida State's a team that, because of their pace and their volume shooting, how many threes they take, they can climb themselves back into games in a hurry.
And that's one thing that this Houston coaching staff talked about and emphasized in their shoot-around. They said, we gave up a lead to Tennessee. We had an early lead. We gave up a lead to Notre Dame. This is a Houston team that doesn't necessarily capitalize and keep leads.
Houston led 26-4 last time out against Notre Dame. And the Fighting Irish got it down to a 2-possession deficit late. Houston basketball. Cougars haven't made a field goal in almost 3 minutes. Harwell. Three freshmen on the floor for Houston. Harwell spots for a three, barely scrapes the rim. Swinton.
Oh.
Sinek tracks it down. Corner three. An air ball. Floating in. Sinek puts it through. A wild sequence back and forth. McGee, sidestep three. Long rebound. Miles, his three, short. Rennings. And Sharp stepped out of bounds. First Houston turnover. Fouls. Hook pass. McGee's three off the mark. Fleming's had it knocked away. Jones with the steal in the backcourt. Spinning into traffic, absorbing contact, and one.
Oh, LeJay Jones. One-on-one. May I have this dance with you? We have to take another look at this replay. Look at this, gets a steal. First off, so crafty right here to be able to get the steal, but look at this, on an island, you better guard him one-on-one. Spin cycle, takes that one extra step, puts his head down, finishes through contact. That's such a high-level bucket right there.
Transfer from St. Bonaventure, averaging almost 13 per game on the young year. Caps off the old-fashioned three. Florida State's within 5. Seminoles are on a 9-2 run. Run and jump defense. Tugler. Did he step out of bounds? May have had an inadvertent whistle. Houston will play it in from this spot here in the front court. Florida State has ratcheted up the defensive intensity. Nine to shoot for the Cougars. Harwell, second thought three, well short. Jones one-on-one against the Frosh. Somerville, and Harwell claims it for Houston. Florida State has started just 1 for 7 from downtown.
That's good defense right there.
10 to shoot. Walker. Flemings. A long two, and he drills it.
That's a good defensive possession right there by Florida State. However, you play 28 seconds of good defense just to give up a wide open three to Kingston Flemings. You have to end possessions.
And it is a three. He was inside the NBA three-point line, but as it gets. But who's winning the battle of tempo at this current juncture here in the first half of the under-12?
Well, it was Houston at first, but in this last media, it seems like the pace that Florida State wants to play at is starting to really get to Houston. We see them take some shots that they really aren't comfortable taking.
Houston scored on 6 of their first 7 possessions to start the game. Since then, just 2 of their last 8 trips. Florida State zone.
Here's that 3-2 zone right now.
Sunak falling away, drills it.
And that's what you have to do. When they get to that 3-2 zone, they leave the middle wide open. So you have to put Sunak right there, and he has to knock it down.
Houston with the takeaway. Sharp trailing 3. Kept alive, Miller. Uzan up high. Sacco comes down with it. And Florida State forces a tie-up. And the possession arrow belongs to the Seminoles.
The Seminoles get lucky. Because whenever Uzan goes up and there's rim protection, you have to have a backside crackdown to not allow Sacco to be able to get access to that rebound. Nobody's there, but they happen to get a tie-up, and it's their ball.
Basal draws a double team. McCray trying to feed Maluk, and it's out of bounds. Turnover, Florida State, and that is number 5.
And that right there is on McCray, because when you allow that much space, I know he hasn't hit a 3 in his last 3 or 4 games, but when you get that much space, a player as capable as McCray is, you have to be able to shoot that.
Thought the same thing. Scared to shoot the 3. He's not made a 3 in 3 games. Sunak, this is his spot. And a foul on the rebound. And it will go against Florida State.
You love Sacco's energy. And when you have a guy like Tugler, he goes to the bench, and you replace him with a guy like Sacco. His energy has been evident on this floor, on both sides.
He's had some really big defensive plays. He blocked a key lob late in the game against Notre Dame. Also came up with a stop late in the game against Auburn. Miller, a tough catch and another foul against Florida State. They call that one on A.J. Swinton.
Right here, he reads it. It just gets there a little bit too late.
Midway through this first half, Houston by 10. Miller, sidestep 3. Sunak climbing the ladder. How good is he? 8 already. 5 rebounds to go along with those 8 points.
That's what you have to do off the backside tag. When your guard McCray gets it to you, you have to be able to knock that down if you want a chance to win. Good shot.
Just the second 3 for Florida State. Sharp, a lob. Sunak can't finish. Seminoles have it down into single digits. Houston has led the entire way. Swinton looking for back-to-back. Sacco up high for the rebound. Cross-court skip. Sharp dribbled off his foot. 10 to shoot. Uzan, big steps, draws a crowd, and it will stay with Houston, knocked out off of a Seminole.
There's a lot to like about Basong. I'm liking what I'm seeing offensively and defensively right there. The ability to be able to stay in front of a guard like Uzan to cause him to throw a pass that's not typically what we see, to go out of bounds, but to get his hand on it right there. His length, his versatility. I think that Coach Laux might have something in Basong.
He has an NBA body and wingspan, played with.
That right there is Chauncey Wiggins' game. He is looking to shoot the 3 right there on that pick and pop. They emptied out that corner, gives him all the space in the world.
Florida State back in their zone. Baseline, Wiggins rips it away underneath. Next dead ball will send us to the under 8 media timeout. Hard pass, McCray.
And I know he's feeling good. After a 3-4 game, selling Sunak, a freshman, to be able to beat you right there.
Sharp and Sunak lead Houston in scoring, each with 8. It's been a balanced attack on the other side for the Seminoles. Sunak from the elbow, in and out. Sacco an offensive rebound. And it will be Florida State basketball. They knocked it off of his kneecap out of play.
And right there, they gave up the shot once again. They had a good contest, and it works out in their favors. Florida State, Coach Laux is living with that shot as long as they get a decent contest.
It is a night and day difference from what we saw earlier this week in Florida State's loss against Georgia. All effort here tonight. McCray behind the back. Outside, Jones for a 3, too long. Claiming his own miss. Underneath Wiggins. Leans into the body, can't finish.
Those are the ones that you have to have. When you get a look that close against this Cougar defense, you have to be able to knock that down.
Florida State has 7 offensive rebounds, keeping pace with one of the best rebounding teams from a percentages standpoint in the country in Houston. A foul off the ball. Foul goes against Cam Miles, the freshman guard. Houston brings Chase McCarty, the redshirt freshman, into the lineup. He's a shooter, still looking for his stroke this season. Here's the Florida State zone off the inbounds.
They run a 1-3-1 on the underneath out of bounds, trying to bait you to throw it to the corner or punt the ball long like you just saw.
Fleming's stop and go. 8 on the timer. Sunak, a hop step, and he delivers.
That's what makes him so tough. His high-level shot-making ability.
In traffic, a block. Sharp wants to run. Pinned, and a goaltend. Houston pushes their lead back to 9.
Now let's take a look at this right here. This is a good attack, and I think he saw his teammate on the floor, so he grabbed the rim for safety because he didn't want to land on his teammate. Because initially I thought, what a bad play, but that was for safety purposes.
That was Shah Muhammad, 6'11", so much length on this Florida State team. McCray, the step through, nice pass. Under 6 to play in this first half. Cross-court skip. McGee, can he get another? Yes, sir!
And that right there was set up by McCray. When they put 2 on the basketball, the backside is wide open, and if you can deliver that pass, James, good things will happen. Sharp is
13 tonight for Emmanuel Sharp. Underneath Muhammad, double clutch, still able to stick it.
Once again, McCray initiating the offense. 2 good passes that lead to good buckets by Florida State based off of McCray's presence.
A lot of heavy breathing out on the floor. This is back and forth, a NASCAR tempo and a Houston turnover. They're 4th here in the half.
Let's take a look at this right here. Off the 2, they bring 2. Now watch McCray. He delivers that cross-court pass. That's not easy to do. But good one more. That's just good basketball and high-level shot making right there by McGee. But when they put 2 on the basketball in that pick and roll, if you can get rid of it, the backside, you always have advantages on the flip side.
And McCray, he is a catalyst, averages 7 assists per game. A near turnover in Florida. McCray, the transfer from Jacksonville. He blew up. Deep in the shot clock. McGee a long way from the cylinder. McCray, dish, Muhammad can't finish. Batted around. Houston has it. Fleming's all tangled up and a foul called. It will go against McCray. That is team foul number 7 against Florida State. Houston in the single bonus.
And that's a good call right there. When Flemings tried to drive, the first instinct by McCray was to put his hands in there. You know this. You have to beat him to the spot with your chest. You cannot put your hands in there because that's an automatic foul. And now you get that foul right there at the free throw line, and you send Houston to the free throw line for the rest of the half.
Fleming's 6'4", 190. Does not look like a freshman in build or style of play, averaging 15 points per game, shooting 61% from the floor. Connects on both free throws, and Houston's back up by 9. The Seminoles throw it away. Their 6th turnover.
Very underrated in that category.
Under 4 to play. Houston in control. Sacco underneath. A ton of steps and contact and a foul called. It'll go against Thomas Bassong. And that is going to be his 2nd personal foul.
It looked as if he traveled on the catch right there initially and then got fouled after he traveled. Let's take, yeah, he definitely traveled right there. But I guess the referee can make the argument that Bassong caused him to travel. But nonetheless, he traveled before the foul.
Sacco gets the double bonus. We talked with Florida State coach Luke Laux about the adjustment coming from the NBA to the college game. It took Kevin Young at BYU about mid-season before he fully adjusted to how these games are called. Sometimes they let stuff go. Sometimes it's the polar opposite. He said, I'm afraid. The lead has ballooned to a baker's dozen, 13. And a foul against Houston.
And right here, good awareness by the freshman. Reading the lane. And it's almost like he just elevates when he dunks. Take a look from this angle right here. The elevation. We've seen that twice tonight. Kingston Fleming showing a bounce.
Man, he is so smooth.
He is smooth. I love his game. Love his game. And the poise that he plays with at such a young age.
Florida State needs a basket. Houston's on a 6-0 burst. From the top, Wiggins around and out. Jan doesn't. His first points. And it's a 10-point lead for Houston.
This right here is key, James. This last 2:49, I think that this can either get to 15 plus, or you can cut it down to single digits. It's all about the Seminoles' response. Taking the right shot, not turning the ball over. Playing high-level, efficient basketball right now in this last 2:30.
It's a 10-point lead for Houston. Sharp. Uzan playing catch. Rebound FSU. What's the number Florida State's going for to feel okay at halftime?
Anything single digits, I feel like it's a win.
McCray has it down to 8.
Anything single digits, I feel like you're in a decent spot, especially with the way that Florida State and the tempo and the pace that they play, and they speed you up. Single digits, you're in a good spot.
Sharp turns down a 3. Fleming's extra pass. A bouncer underneath is fumbled out of bounds by Sanak.
That right there was a great defensive possession. And what was the most impressive thing, James, is the closeouts. Taking away the jump shot, taking away the three-point shot, making Houston put the ball on the floor and drive it, sped them up just a little bit. That is a great possession right there by Florida State.
The drop-off underneath, Wiggins in traffic, muscles it down. It's a 6-point game.
Talk about playing efficient basketball right there. Get into the paint off the pick and roll, make the right read.
Florida State does force 20 turnovers per game. It's top 15 nationally. From the corner, a 3 is an air ball. and it's Florida State's possession.
And those are the plays, if you're Wiggins. You've been in college basketball too long. You were experienced. You are a veteran. You cannot have these type of plays. You can't have these type of turnovers.
Florida State has turned it over 8 times. They're shooting 40% from 3, 6 of 15, keeping them in it. Jones, the head fake in the blow-by, lost his balance. Houston has numbers. Uzan crosses. They push it ahead. Corner 3, McGee. Short. And Florida State is now 6 of 16 from distance. 49 seconds left before the half. Wiggins came off the bench tonight. The bench scoring, Florida State has 19 bench points to Houston's 3. Look at their three-point shooting. The other night against Georgia, 8 for 30. Tonight, 6 for 15 before that last possession.
That's one thing Coach Locke said. He said, we have no chance if we don't make shots. And, I mean, typically, you know, that's common sense in basketball. But when you're playing against a good defensive team like Houston, you have to be able to capitalize.
Down to 30 on the game clock. Houston won't get the 2 for 1.
To drive the lane and be able to scoop it up with your left hand, that's a high-level finish.
Bucket getter. He has 13. 6 seconds. McCray still probing. Quick hands, out of bounds, and that